the record. So, hello, good evening. Week 1 of our Feed Your Bones. And what I thought we would do tonight is a bit of an introduction maybe, and maybe see what you hope to get out of this program. And maybe share a bit about ourselves with regards to bone health, if there's anything you want to share. And then I was going to go to show you a bit the products that are going to be used in this week's recipes. Kind of, it makes it a bit more real and easy, rather than being something unknown or complicated. So first of all, because my specialty is blood sugar balance and gut health, and I started looking into osteoporosis because some dear friends had got diagnosis. So I kind of looked at the nutritional side of it, and it happened to one person, then it happened to another person. And it was like, why is there so many? And my husband was put on steroids for a long time because he has ulcerative colitis, and they told him he needed to go for a DEXA scan. And then they told him that he was the wrong sex and a couple of decades too young, which first made me look into why is women supposed to be having DEXAs? Why do they assume women are going to have bone issues? But they do. And as some of you know, I work with Eileen, who's a Pilates instructor, and we do our little 10-day feel good, look good program every so often. And we were just talking about it, and she was talking about how prevalent this is, the bone problems that we have later on, the osteopenia, osteoporosis. So we both actually got stuck into it, and we've had a few meetings, and we thought, right, we need to make a program that's future-proofing women for their bones, for our bone health. And then the statistics I found are just terrible. I mean, Dr. Marilyn Glenville, who's a women's specialist, was saying 1 in 2 women. Oops, am I stuck? You can hear me? Yeah. 1 in.
Broken up
a
little bit, Emily. There,
yes.
Yeah, it's a little bit.
Broken up a little. Right. Okay. Yes, it's thank you. So 1 in 2 women will get osteoporosis in later years. And it's the percentage of breast cancer is 1 in 8 women. And yet there is all this prevention for breast cancer, but they're not doing, there's nothing about preventing osteoporosis. And right now it's happening earlier in women's lives. And I spoke to a DEXA scan specialist, and she was saying the only women she sees are women over 70s who have suffered from some fracture. So they're only going for a scan when the women have hurt themselves already, and they're just looking for a label of why they've hurt themselves. It doesn't seem to be a prevention. And in the area I'm living in, apparently there's only 2 women GPs who will actually send their women that go into menopause for a DEXA scan just to assess where the bones are. Because there is a lot that we can do before to prevent it from happening, and a lot that we can do during any diagnosis to stop it from getting worse. It is a slow process. They'll check you now, and then they check you 2 years later. And if you have any stories, you can tell us how it is with you. But in the meantime, they might give you a pill or what it is, but it's not just a pill. The pill should be just to fix the very bad situation. It does require nutrition and exercise. So with our program with Eileen, we're aiming to give just that, to teach everybody the exercise that will benefit, the posture, balance. Eileen does some great stuff. And in her lessons, she protects people. She says, you do it like this. And then if you have any diagnosis, you do it like that, which is very important, because even for somebody that doesn't have OP, you can start to learn the movements that will be affected, or how to protect yourself later probably is a good idea. I'm also saying that if we do keep moving, we should be okay. But it doesn't mean you won't get a diagnosis. So what I'm doing is I'm putting together meals that are really dense in nutrition. And what we're going to do through the 4 weeks is we are going to learn to eat them in a way that helps us absorb the nutrients. And we are going to learn of the other factors that play a big role in us getting osteopenia, osteoporosis, or it getting worse. Why is this happening? And I'll just say a last thing that was just horrendous, that they dug out some women's bones from the 18th century, I think in Rome, and the younger bodies and the older bodies, their bone density was higher than even young women today. So
Wow.
something we're doing in the last 200 years, whatever we're doing, is not benefiting the bones. And because the bones are a storage for minerals, everything's pointing to the fact that our body is needing minerals. It's always needed minerals. But right now, because whatever is going on, we are using our storage. We're pulling out minerals from the bones and it's weakening them. So we have to put an effort, a constant effort, but if we learn a few things and we practice them a few times, they'll be habits. It'll be easier. But yeah, we're taking too much out of our bones constantly and it's weakening them a lot earlier. So that is why we need to have more of these things to inform people of the things they can do.
Right.
Fascinating. Yeah.
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 It's
Excellent. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's excellent. Really.
yeah. And
Yeah,
it's crazy. And I don't know why there's not more about on prevention.
Mm.
We need more people to be shouting about it. But I think
Yeah, and it's not on the media at all. I know, I know, breast and prostate, get the attention and do, unwarranted, and the skin cancer as well. But actually, the bones don't get the attention at all when you think of it. When you actually come out, with the statistics you're after saying, and even the examples you're after, coming up with there, and how, our density is so different in this day and age to, to what it was generations well before us. I mean, that's frightening as well, given things have advanced so much, or they're meant to have advanced so much with diets and nutrition and technology, but I suppose lifestyle choices and demands have advanced and changed as well. So
is those demands, is that we're not out, is that we're wearing more clothes and covering and not getting the sun on our skin. It's the incredible amounts of stress that they're prolonged stress. They're not just a stress and then it goes away. Like the tiger chases you, you either run away or you fight the tiger, you're done, and you go and sit down under the tree and eat a nut.
Eaten or be eaten.
Or be eaten, yes. Yeah, it's not like that where 5% of our lives is stress and 95% is we don't worry about anything. The stress is constant, and the stress is a big it takes minerals out of our bones. It sucks up our magnesium. It sucks up a lot of things from us, and we have low levels of chronic inflammation. So if there's anything going on in the body and it's chronic, it's long time, it starts using up your supplies. So it just means that in these cases, we need to support the body more. We need to give it more and make every mouthful matter. So that's what we're going to, what we're going to try. Would you like this? Anybody, did you want to give us a couple of lines? Anybody want to say who you are if you're interested in those?
Do I need some paper to write down, or will everything be on?
Everything beyond. There'll be a recording of this, and there's already a few videos from this morning that are up.
Okay.
And during the week, we will be chatting in the chat room, in the feed. If you've seen it, you probably get things popping up there. That's where we'll share any questions that come up, or if we have any questions here that I don't know the answer to, I'll put the answer in there. I'll say regarding this question so everybody can see it. No, I don't think you need to note anything down.
Okay.
I think it'll be covered. Yes. Yes. Do you want to tell us you don't have a diagnosis of anything to do with?
I do. I
You
do. I've got it in my hand. Yeah.
Osteopenia or osteoporosis?
Well, in English, it's osteoporosis.
Osteoporosis, yes. So you have osteoporosis in your right hand, left, right hand.
Yeah.
Have they checked everything? But that's all where you've got it.
Yeah. I did have a DEXA scan about a month ago, and I have good bones, but then I had an early hysterectomy, and I've been on HRT for about 30 years.
Right. Okay. Okay.
So as yet, I'm not losing height. I'm mid-70s.
Great. Okay, and you've only got it on the hand. That's the other mad thing with your osteoporosis. If you've got it here, it doesn't mean that the rest of your body has it.
No.
It's a hip. It's a different place. So it's not enough to just say I have osteoporosis. You have to say I have osteoporosis here.
Yeah.
It's another.
It's gardening and you know, it's wear and tear.
It's wear and tear in that hand. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, great. Well, I might try and look it up if there's something particular on the hand here. Right hand. Okay, and how long have you had that diagnosis? The month?
No, about a year.
Okay. Okay, great. So what would you like this program to give you?
I'd like
in
to
the 4 weeks.
ensure that the rest of my bones stay as good.
Great. Okay. Yeah. And you're okay with doing the? Will you be doing the Pilates? Do you think?
Well, I have a pretty good Pilates teacher that I do on Zoom anyway. So
right. Okay.
So
okay.
it'll be an extra to have your
to
Pilates.
have another.
Yeah.
Yes, great. And then because she'll do for osteoporosis related stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
Great. Okay. And that it will introduce a few things. We'll speak about specific foods that have exactly what the bones want. And then you'll just make sure you're eating more of those. They're in your diet, and whatever you're eating, you can just add a little bit of the bone supplementing food as well.
Yeah.
Hopefully. So we'll just enrich. We're not going to do crazy different diets that you do for a period and then you come off it. It's going to be just enriching what you're eating now, kind of.
Yeah.
Great. Okay, fantastic. Thank you very much. Marie?
Yeah.
Do you have any diagnosis?
No, I don't know. I don't have any diagnosis, thank God. But I am, I suppose, a mum of very young children who's very busy, and I probably don't look at. I know I don't look after myself, and I haven't looked after myself kind of for the last 8 or 9 years, kind of since kids came along. That I'm kind of, I suppose, now at that stage of going, if I don't start looking after myself, something is going to happen down the line as much as anything else. So I suppose I'm kind of trying to now get kind of the tools to be able to go, right, start looking after yourself now, Marie. So please God only knows what's going to happen in time to come, but just kind of give myself as good a chance as possible, you know, to kind of start building up myself and looking after myself a bit. And I suppose I don't get the nutrients in. I hear you talking about magnesium and so forth. Like, I'm not consciously getting the nutrients into me. I am eating as healthy as I can, but I'm eating on the go. Given the lifestyle kind of with young kids and work, and that I kind of just need to stop and just start somewhere with looking after myself. And I think, I suppose I spoke about, I would have mentioned the other areas there, breast and skin and all that. But I suppose your bones are your core at the end of the day. They're your structure that holds you up. That I need to start kind of at the dead kind of foundation of our skeletal, being the bones, and then kind of start working around everything else. I don't drink alcohol. I will say that. You're all probably going to go, Jesus, she needs it like that. I don't drink alcohol.
Is she Irish for real? She can't be Irish.
I know. She did it back in the day, I'll tell you. So I don't drink alcohol, and I don't take toxins as such. I would be a bit of a devil for the sugar, but in the cup of tea and the packet of biscuits kind of late at night when you're kind of eventually get to sit down on the sofa. But I suppose I just need to get all that healthy stuff and consciously start getting the healthy stuff back into me. And even my posture, I'm sitting here and I'm hooped over a table because I suppose I've spent 9 and 10 years hooped over in front of little kids, and that I just need to kind of recalibrate, myself. Yes. And kind of lifestyle, and just like you would have mentioned it earlier as well there, Emily, just kind of need to do a little bit of future proofing and just start looking after myself kind of that. So yeah, I'm looking forward to the course now, kind of to get
yes. So prevention, future proofing, and just making sure you're good from the inside out.
That's it. Yeah.
Without again doing crazy diet changes that can't be supported. Like for you, you've got a busy life.
Yeah, exactly. That they can just be integrated into what I'm currently doing, but actually come as add-ons, and then in time, hopefully pass it on to my husband or get him, involved. That actually stuff is manageable and doable, and we just maybe need to change how we're living, our approach kind of as well to to our lifestyle and so forth. So yeah,
To support the future proofing part of it.
exactly. Yeah, exactly. Emma.
Perfect, lovely. Okay, thank you very much. Pauline, do you want to
Hello.
tell us?
Maybe for me, it is a lot of what Marie has said there in that in future proofing. I went into early menopause at 41, and I can remember going along to my doctor, and I was a bit afraid of the HRT because I was so young or whatever, and probably she had done an overhaul of our surgery. She was quite a young doctor at that time, and she had done an overhaul of the surgery, and she had said she had taken people off here, but you're someone who needs it. You're too young to be going through the menopause. Your skin needs it, your hair needs it, and your bones need it. And she said, she advised, you know, to do exercise, weight bearing exercise. And from then on, I was lucky. I feel that I got on the system in a way, and that I got a lot of follow-up care in like the Mater Hospital. And then I got bone density. I've had several done in these years at the Musgrave Park Hospital. And so I do feel that I've been quite well looked after. Now, my bone density was low, and that's why I kept getting the checkups done. And the last time I was there, they had said that whatever I'm doing, keep doing it, because it was improved. Yeah, which I was obviously very pleased about. Now, unlike Marie, I do drink alcohol.
There's an Irish woman.
I know Pauline. You don't eat the size of bar of chocolate, I eat though.
But I have a reasonable diet, but not a brilliant diet. I'm very good with fruit, but not vegetables. I am good with my proteins. I wouldn't eat a lot of fatty meats or anything like that. But it's about things like what you'd said about magnesium and stuff like that. You know, I wouldn't be, you know, I did get the list from the hospital all those years ago as to what foods to include. And, you know, I wouldn't be that good about following that. I wouldn't. Yeah. I do a bit, but I'm not, I think I need to re-educate myself as to how to get the, you know, to remember to take the good stuff. I am good with exercise. I do exercise 3 or 4 times a week, and I've always been quite a good walker. Since my daughter was born, I've always been quite good about walking. So exercise, I think I've got covered, but not the nutrition.
Great. Okay. So your thing is that you want to get the foods out of it.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Fantastic. Okay, great. And that's why it's like 3 recipes a week. We'll find a way, make them once, make them twice, make another 3. We'll repeat the first week, then make another 3, just to make them easy. So by the end of 4 weeks, we're going to have nice 12 recipes that are going to be great for the bone density. And then if you've made them, it makes it easier to make them again. It's all about introducing it and making it again, not making it familiar. That. Fantastic. Lovely. Thank you very much, Pauline. Helen, do you have anything you want to tell us if you're there?
Yes, here. Yes. Well, I'm all right at the moment. About 2 or 3 years ago, I did the bone density scan, and I was on grade 1 or 2, I think. But the last time I went, about 2 months ago, I was grade 3, and I was told not to go for at least another 3 years.
Brilliant. So
now
you
I
got
don't.
better.
Well, yes, I am. But the thing is that I don't know whether it was the detox recipes that you've been giving me, or I don't know if it was because of that.
Well,
the champagne, because I've
it
been
would be the
eating very
champagne.
well. I've been eating very well with the detox recipes.
Yes, but when was the first one? 2 years ago?
Oh, no, it wasn't the first one. I had the first one about, 10 years ago, I think.
And then when was the one where you were grade 2? When did you say it was?
I think it would have been about 4 years ago. Would have been
4
4
years
years ago,
ago.
the grade 2. Yeah, and the one I had 6 weeks ago was grade 3.
Brilliant. Okay,
And
so
we were
they,
very pleased. But this is after I've been doing your detox program.
oh
So I
yes, yeah,
didn't know
you've done
that
a
was
few of them.
Yeah.
So the food, yes, well, actually, a few of the foods that are on those programs are very bone healthy, so they might make their way into this program as well. Great. Okay, I do think it's a bit quick for them to have acted, but I'll take it.
Right.
It does take longer, yeah, to replenish it in the bones, but that's great. Well, that's great. So you're obviously moving more in the last 4 years.
Yes, and I'm actually with my sister now, and she wants to know if wine ruins the osteoporosis, or can we still drink wine?
Well, it doesn't help. Drink wine once or twice a week, and 2
Yes.
glasses a week.
Oh,
You need to
right.
give it a break.
Well, we've had about 1 month's part this evening.
No, it has a place. It does have a place, but it has to be infrequent. It has to be less nights
Right.
with the alcohol and more nights without the alcohol. It needs to be there for celebrations.
Okay.
Yeah, it needs to be there for celebrations, not as a daily routine.
Well, that's it. We've had a celebration.
Okay, I'll accept it then. We'll all take that. I think nobody will say anything about that.
Right. Okay.
Fantastic. Thank you. Okay, and what are you hoping to get then? Recipes, the movement, or so? What is your?
Actually, everything. I want the recipes, I want the movement, and I want knowledge. I want to know.
Yes, we're going to. Yes, I think it's very important because then it's easier to do things when you know why you're doing them as well.
Yeah.
So that's and actually, I'm going to say thank you. The action you have for this week is to take 3 deep breaths before you eat anything.
Ah, that's a bit late.
Right. So anyway, a big part about you absorbing your nutrients is going to be helping your digestion improve.
In other words, Hells, just speak less. Yes, quite. Okay, I'll close it.
Yeah. So, there we are. They're enjoying them. Yes. So, the action, for this week we've got 3 recipes that are very nutrient dense, and we've got 1 action which is to breathe before you eat anything. So the 3, it should be 3 deep breaths, but if 3 deep breaths feels like a hassle, 2, and if you can't do 2, at least give us 1. We want the deep exhale. So it's like, and it's the deep exhale that does the magic. It relaxes you from the inside out without you wanting for it, asking for it. It relaxes the insides. If you have 4 quarters energy, 3/4 of your energy is taken up to digest things. So it takes up a lot of energy. So we need to make it easier for the body to digest. There's 4 rules we're going to do that are going to improve our digestion. And the first rule, we're only going to do 1 per week. We're just going to keep adding on to that. That's why it's important this week that you practice the 3 deep breaths. We want to get the long exhales in because then it grounds you. If you've been shouting at the kids, if you've been reading a stressful email or watching Ukraine or anything else that's going on, the 3 deep breaths just ground your body and bring you to a better place to digest. So that's something I invite you to practice. It's a 1-minute video that you can watch. And the 3 meals we're making, the bone broth looks like a little bit of a hassle, but if you can source a chicken carcass somewhere, and the organic farms like here, then sell the carcass for €2, less than €2. Like, hi, do you want another one? Here's another one. Because they get all the chicken fillets and the things, wings and everything to sell. They can sell the carcass for soups and it's for next to nothing. So yeah, so I can get them for about €2.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. Yeah, any farm that does an organic, you can get that, and then you could get the necks of the chicken legs. I don't know if that sounds appealing, but the chicken legs are chock-a-block with collagen. So if you can make a broth and put some chicken legs in, all that stuff is going to go straight to the bones. So a broth is the easiest food to absorb. It's ideal when somebody's got a leaky gut, which means that the intestines have got holes in it and things are getting through the gut, which then causes a lot of reactions and food sensitivities and things like that. If we have any flare up here, if Paul has had any flare up or a bit unwell, we'll make sure the broth comes out. And it's a calm food that soothes the insides, feeds the bones, feeds the gut lining, and it keeps you content. So it keeps the moods in a good place as well. So bone broth would have been something they used to make in the day constantly. Like you have the chicken and the roast on Sunday, and then the bones are used to make a broth. It was part of weekly life. We need to bring that back in. I make a broth definitely every couple of weeks. I'll have some broth. I go and get bone marrow from the butcher. If you've got a nice butcher, get some bone marrow, keep that in the freezer, or if you've already, I get 2 or 3 and put 2 of them in the freezer and make it with the other one. So then I've got a bone marrow ready to go. I get organic chicken carcasses, but I am trying to find the chicken legs. I haven't managed it yet in Ireland, or where I am, but if you can, that is a superfood, literally a superfood of nutrients. So you put the carcass in, what it is. Do you have slow cookers?
Yep.
Guys, you
Yeah.
were no, Hillary there, okay, but you do pressure cooker maybe.
No, I've got an Aga.
Oh, you've got the Argo, okay, right. Well, you
I
can
don't-
leave it on. It's the thing with the bone broth. Obviously, a broth, you cook it, obviously, you know how to make a broth. These bone broths are, first you put apple cider vinegar, so I just got one of them. And they're apple cider vinegar with the mother. You can see all this muck at
Yeah.
the bottom. So you want to be getting apple cider vinegar, unprocessed, unpasteurized, organic, unfiltered, and it's with the mother. Bragg's is a brand that's been around for decades, and you can find that everywhere, Bragg's. But so what I do is I put half a cup of this. I just go for it a little bit with the bones. This helps leach the minerals out of the bone, and then you're cooking it slowly. So the recipe I've given you is kind of to make this medicinal broth, and it comes out really dark, but then you can freeze it in the 600 ml bags. Next week, I'm giving you a kale soup, which needs the broth to be made. So that's why this week we're making the broth. We're storing a few 600 ml bags in the freezer if you can. And if you can't, go and buy it from a health food store. They have a lot of them now. The ingredients are very good. Just look in the back. As long as you understand what the ingredients are, it's good. So we're getting, yes, we're making the broth. And we're going to try and make another one next week, and the next, we're just going to try and make a few broths within the month so that it's not intimidating anymore. And they're cooking for about 2-3 days, again, because we're taking all the minerals out. And then all you add into the carcass that was €2, whatever, you add the carrots, the celery, and the onion. And when it's almost ready to come out, you put the parsley in. So it costs nothing. And it's basically a multivitamin. Now they even sell powder, which is bone broth, which costs a bomb. Why not make our own in our own kitchen? That costs nothing, basically. So that's why it's a very important food for us to introduce. And then the other one I've got is the smoothie, which is made with coconut milk. And I'm going to show you the brand we get here. There's a non-sweetened version, but this is a brand. There's another brand called Bunalun, and there's another one called Rude Health. But whatever you do, you want to avoid the Alpro, which is the brand that exists. Yes, yes, it's basically colored water in my mind.
Is it?
The
Okay.
The Alpro brand, yes, you get nothing.
Right.
With the Alpro
They're all
brand,
princess in the coffee shop.
yeah, because it's
Sweet.
been around for ages, and they were the first doing
See
this.
them pouring that in the coffee shop and the almond milk in that.
Sorry, say that again, Marie.
Okay, right. No, I was going to say, do you know the way you see them all in the fancy coffee shops and they're getting their almond milk with their coffees and that, but actually it's not what it's cracked up to be at all. Them, by the sounds of it, Emily.
No, the Alpro brand will have something like 2%, like in the almond milk, about 2% of almonds. The rest is water and chemicals and synthetic vitamins. They've been added in.
Oh, no.
So when you look, I compared their organic one to their no sugar one to their, they have nothing in, nothing.
None of, is that just the almond?
Those are the ones I can remember looking at, but when I've looked at Alpro yogurts, the ingredients are bad. There's nothing edible in there. It's not a yogurt. It's a chemical concoction, Alpro.
Really?
Bunalun, for example, the other brand I know, because I was comparing, that's why they're top of my mind. Bunalun has 5% almond in their milk, and water, and then salt and rice, and that's it. 4 things. So yeah, this one, it's not the best, but this one, for example, like the coconut is 8.4%, grape juice, then it has calcium, 1, 2, 3, 4. It has 3 additives, sea salt, and 2 vitamins. It's not great, but it's better than Alpro. I really am annoyed with them. I'm allergic to Alpro products anyway. But this one is one that doesn't curdle in coffees as well. Because that's one thing that people, when they get milk substitutes, it curdles in the coffee, but this brand doesn't. So anyway, just to show you that. So all that's in your kale smoothie is a leaf of kale, a big leaf, which you just take the stem off, or you can keep it in, you're whizzing it up. Put it in your mug dense. So that's 1 mug of that, 1 mug of this, and 1 tablespoon of this. And these are nutritional yeast flakes. Have you seen them? Do you know them?
No.
No.
Right.
No.
Great.
Where do you get them, Emily?
In a health food store, Super Value actually has them, I believe. So these are a natural product. They're kind of dead yeast. So you won't get a yeast infection from them. Nothing like that. But these are these are what vegans would eat, because they would be lacking vitamin. Oh, can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yep.
Yes?
Yeah.
Over there? Yeah. Okay, it keeps sticking. These are very high in B12 and zinc and folic acid, which is your B9, fiber, and high in protein. All these are needed for the bones.
Right.
And it's a natural food. So even if you have these and you aim for a tablespoon a day, you'll see your energy levels going up.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So yeah, so these are nutritional yeast. Yeah, this is a brand that actually I don't think I've seen another one. But you want to look at the ingredients, like the ingredients, dry, inactive yeast. That's all that's in there. So there's no diphosphate, silicone this, and oxidized that. There's nothing. There, yeah, and like I said, this is a food for vegans because they're lacking the B12 and the zinc, because they're not eating the protein they need from the meat. So this has a cheesy taste. It's a salty kind of taste, and it's very close to Parmesan. It's that kind of usage. So if you put this 1 tablespoon into your smoothie, you're done for the day. The other thing I do is you can sprinkle it over your salads. If you've got a salad, it's just because, again, you get that saltiness, that salty taste. or you can put it over cooked vegetables, just a sprinkling. Now, you can work your way up to a tablespoon, see what you think about the taste. But next week, I'm going to give you a recipe to mix this with walnuts, grind it up, and then it's called Romezan. It's a concoction. But then you're going to get essential fats and all these vitamins in a sprinkling that you can put over any food.
Okay,
So it's
brilliant.
a nice one. So
Brilliant, yeah.
definitely worth an investment. Where's the price? I don't know the price. I want to say it's around 5, but I don't know. It's definitely under €10. Definitely under it. But again, it's a food that's practically a multivitamin, full of the stuff your bones need, and your
Yes.
energy levels. Yes. So it's a nice one, because then you'll keep eating it. And then finally, I just want to tell you about, when you're making the kale smoothie, I showed you this milk. When you like it and you're okay with this smoothie, don't drink it every day, by the way. Nothing is for every day. Everything is to introduce it, to bring it in the diet. Then you can take it up a notch and use tinned coconut milk. Tinned coconut milk has healthy fat, and it's amazing for our brains. So my husband Paul would have it in coffees. But the smoothies we drink now, we don't make them with this anymore. We make it with this. So your smoothie comes out quite thick, and sometimes you need an ice cube, and it's a bit, but my gosh, is it dense and rich, and it holds you. So this is just taking it up a notch, and then you're getting good fat, which is good for the heart, very good for the brain, very good for the bones.
So when you say a smoothie, are you talking about green vegetables or are you talking about fruit?
Vegetables. All you've got in is kale.
Right.
Oh, no, sorry. There's fruit as well. Sorry. There's a mug of kale, and a mug of fruit, either one orange or frozen berries. So everything is one. It's 1 mug of kale, 1 mug of berries, 1 mug of this, and 1 tablespoon of the yeast.
Right.
So that's what's in the recipes. It's easy to remember. It needs a lot of blitzing. And you need to know that you're doing something marvelous for your body. It really helps to drink it. Yes. And this recipe, I will tell you, is a recipe from Terry Walls, who is a woman that reversed her multiple sclerosis.
Oh, wow. Oh, wow.
And she got osteopenia because she was on so many steroids for the multiple sclerosis. That's when she got osteopenia. And now at 69, she no longer has osteopenia, even that's gone. So we are going to take foods from her book as well, because she's the theory that you need the protein and you need the vegetables. So that's what we're going to do. We're just going to take a few recipes from there, and by the end of it, I'll tell you a bit more of her teachings, but it's very interesting. So that's the smoothie. Now I'm going to the oats we're doing, because a lot of people eat oats for breakfast. Would you have oats for breakfast?
Yeah.
Yes. Marie, I don't know.
I don't. I'm not a big oat person, actually. It's funny, but I did look at the recipe today, and I was kind of going, right, is this my way of doing it? But I don't like the texture of porridge, if I tell you the truth. I don't like the texture. So I actually have steered clear of it, even though the kids would eat it here and my mum at home would eat it, and you know, it's a big family thing. And my husband here eats it every morning, and that I probably need to get back to it, because it's years since I would have gone, no, I don't like that, don't want that.
Yes.
So yeah, it's a personal thing I need to get back into. I need probably get pucks of flavor with it, you know, be it the prunes or whatever it is, to actually kind of almost hide the texture of the actual porridge itself.
Yes.
I had the same problem with porridge, but what I
did you?
did was put a few raisins in at the bottom, make the porridge, put fruit on, and then nuts, seeds, and it's gorgeous.
Okay, right. And the texture, that gloopy texture
No,
then.
you
with- I
lose it.
suppose
You lose it with the fruit.
nuts. Yeah, that's what I was just going to, with the nuts and
Yeah.
the fruit, like that,
The
that
nuts.
texture, those textures take over nearly.
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's a good
Yeah.
idea. Actually. Yeah, no, I'll
Yeah.
try that.
Yeah.
Ellen,
I'm
yeah.
not a big fan too. I do kind of overload with the nuts. To get the
Actually, they're very
crunch.
low here, actually.
Yeah,
Oh,
but
that's
I have
brilliant.
another one. Like, if you don't like it, we'll find something that you do like.
Yeah, no, I tried. No, even like as you said, kind of with the nuts and the sultanas and the dried fruit, that will actually kind of absorb the gloopiness, hopefully, or just not to identify the gloopiness. You know, that kind of way more than anything else. But yeah, oh no, that's great.
Yeah. Pauline, you probably have oats, so you don't. You have oats.
Pardon?
You have are you okay with porridge?
Yes, I am. My thing with porridge though is that I never felt that it filled me up, and that I would have porridge for breakfast, and then at 10 o'clock I'd be looking for scones or toast.
Okay. No, that's yeah. I definitely feel as well. It doesn't cover me as much as an egg breakfast would. It definitely doesn't there. Yeah, in those cases, yeah, it could be adding more nuts, adding more seeds, things like that. But yeah, it's something good to know, and it's also a reason why not to eat it every day, because it must raise your blood sugar a bit more than you think, which I think is what's happening with me. It raises it a bit more because it's still carbs. Still carbs, the oats. So it will
Yes.
raise your blood sugar.
Mhm.
And by adding nuts and seeds to it, we're helping bring that down a little bit. But again, if we're hungry soon after, it's something to keep in mind. So yeah, no, understand that. Well, oats are found, a lot of the oats have been found to be contaminated. 99.9% of oats checked by the WHO, the WG that checks for contamination. Whoops, am I there? Yes, I am. Are contaminated with pesticides. So if you eat oats, especially if you eat them frequently, it's worth getting organic. And what we are going to see in the next few weeks is that it is better if we go gluten-free naturally. So gluten-free as well. So again, Bunalun is a nice brand we've got here. But we're going for organic because they're contaminated and because they won't be good for your gut, for your intestinal lining, if you are eating contaminated foods. Once in a while is okay, but when we get constant exposure, it does hurt the gut lining. So if it's something we're eating, can you hear me? So if it's something we're eating frequently, going organic is good. Apologies, it's my computer, I'm afraid. So I soaked my oats last night, according to the recipe I gave you. Do you know buckwheat groats? Have
Yep.
you seen? Yeah. So there, this is mine there. I mix the oats with a tablespoon of this in some water. And I got this last night in some water plus an acid medium, which is apple cider vinegar or lemon and things like that. What happens is it pre-digests the oats for us. And it releases the nutrients from the oats so that we can take them in and absorb them better. So I will put some, I've been taking pictures while I made the oats. So I'll put some pictures in the chat so you can see. Prunes are a superfood for the bones. They are high in sugar. Like, for example, here, 100 grams contains 40 grams of sugar. Natural sugar, obviously, but it's sugar. So 40% of your prunes is sugar. Right.
Lovely.
So, isn't it yum? So what you do with these is you soak them overnight, and the sugar gets leached into the water, and you pour the water out. So that's nice. Yeah, so that's a nice way. Now, even if you took a prune as a snack and you ate it, you'd still be doing a lot of good, of course. It doesn't matter for the natural sugars. But if you're eating them frequently, you could pair them with a few nuts so your blood sugar doesn't go up. These 4 to 5 in one portion of oats is good. But I did that today. For me, it was too much. 2 to 3 prunes, I'm happy with. 4 to 5 for me, it was too much. Somebody that's okay with prunes, they should be fine. But it's about how much you can go, but to enjoy it and also be nutritious for your bones. Chia seed is something you could sprinkle on top. And they're not mentioned in the recipe, but chia seeds you can find them anywhere, full of essential fats, great for the brain, great for the bones, just great for our skin. They're omegas. You could sprinkle sesame, and a teaspoon of these has more calcium than a glass of milk. So forget the milk. So yeah, so sesame seeds, great source of calcium. I do walnuts over my porridge because crunchiness and very good for the brain, and it keeps us a bit fuller, a bit longer. Nice, lovely ones in Lidl. And the other thing I pull in to make it a little bit more substantial so it fills us up for a bit longer is you can use nut butters. And this is a very good brand, Meridian. Has very good ingredients. Hip and Nut is another one. And another brand is this brand, Life Force. They also do nut butters that are good ingredients. If you're buying something else, you must check the ingredients. Literally here, the ingredients are roasted almonds, whole skin on. That's it. So you're getting just almonds. They don't need anything else. Maybe almonds and nuts. They don't need anything else. If they have sunflower oil in, I tend to put it back, basically just because you can find something without it. But yeah, but then again, if you know that it's a good brand and you know that they don't put additives, if one of their products have sunflower, I like to think that they've put the good sunflower in, not the bad. And the other thing which we will be doing in the next few weeks, I'll be showing you because it helps with the bone, it helps with our estrogen, is grinding our own seeds. This mixture here is sesame and pumpkin seeds, which help promote the production of progesterone. So this, I don't want to get too confusing. I'll talk about it in the next few weeks maybe. But the point is, well, we're going to be doing some seed grinding, and this is sesame and pumpkin, and the other mixture is flax and sunflower seeds. And it's for teenage girls, it's for perimenopause, it's for menopause, it's for postmenopause. It's about these two would promote progesterone, the other two promote estrogen. So even if we are not having a cycle, you are still going on a cycle. You can follow the cycle of the moon, is the theory. You can follow that. It's a 30-day period. For a couple of weeks, you promote the one bone health promoting hormone, and for the other 2 weeks you can give the other bone health promoting hormone a boost, and by using seeds. And obviously it's not going to change anything overnight, but it's in your diet. It gives the body a little bit more help, and this is another thing that's been used for centuries. And we'll do more about it the other time. So that was just to say we're adding things into your diet. I hope this was useful to make it seem a bit more feasible, and it all makes sense. I hope. Yeah, so that's all I want to tell you tonight.
Oh,
Thanks very much.
Great.
Yeah.
Useful.
Good.
Yes.
Great.
Any questions for
No.
those?
Yeah, no, really useful, really informative there as well, Emily. So no, yeah, thank you very much. That was great.
Yeah,
Thanks, Nigel.
yeah.
Really
Thank you.
that.
I enjoyed it too.
My
Yeah.
pleasure. That's
Yeah.
great. Well, so I would like to tell you what we're doing next week, though, because I'm going to need you to buy a purple cabbage. Oh, is it
Yes,
cabbage?
cabbage.
Okay.
Red
Cabbage. A red
Yeah.
cabbage. A small
Yeah,
one.
okay.
Find the small
Small
one.
one, okay.
Because a big, massive source of the vitamins we need is in fermented foods. So next week, I invite you, we're all going to make our own sauerkraut. Have you heard of sauerkraut?
Yeah. Yeah.
Great. So literally it costs what? Does it cost £1, £2 to get a thing like that? A small one? You're gonna have that and you have sea salt at home.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great.
Right.
Right, that's all you need, and some of those Kilner jars, you know, the jars with the elastic that don't allow the air going in.
Yeah, the rubber.
Oh, yeah.
Marie, I have
Yeah.
some if you don't. Okay, with
Okay,
the rubber,
grand,
yes,
yeah.
those jars. So next week we are going to
Right,
make
yeah.
sauerkraut together during our chat. We'll make sauerkraut, and that will be ready the following
Wow.
week. So we'll all be together while we're to taste it.
Oh, brilliant. And we don't need vinegar and with apple cider vinegar, we'll have in the house there from this week onwards, but
Which
you
you have
don't need
that,
anything
yes.
else in for
No,
it.
literally salt and
Okay.
sauerkraut, but I'll put a reminder towards the end of the week. But I'm just
Yeah,
telling you
what
now,
we-
next
yeah.
Monday, we're making a ferment while we chat.
Okay.
Brilliant.
So
Really
that'll be
great.
fun.
Okay. Thanks very much.
Oh, that's
Pleasure.
lovely.
Okay,
Listen, thank you
that's
very
all.
much, Emily. That was great.
Thanks,
That was
Em.
really, really
All right,
good.
thank you. See you next time. Bye. Thanks for
Yeah,
coming.
See you next week. Thanks a lot,
See
Emily.
you.
Take